This next one is a new one for me. Vici Properties. Ticker symbol is VICI. It's currently trading for about $28 per share. It has a current dividend yield of about 5.5%. It pays 4 dividends per year, and the previous dividend was for 41.5 cents per share. So I actually surprised myself with this one. I just assumed that I already owned it, but I don't. So I'm going to add it into the portfolio now. It started off with a nice €20 investment, like so, and the fun begins. So Vici is a real estate investment trust, or a REIT, and it owns a portfolio of gaming, hospitality and entertainment destinations. And these include Caesars Palace in Vegas, the MGM Grand and the Venetian Resort. They have about 54 gaming facilities in the US and Canada, about 60,000 hotel rooms and 450 restaurants, bars and nightclubs. And it is a very popular REIT among dividend investors, and I can see why. Their debt is good and their profits are very good. So it's a considerably small company, has 23 employees, based in the United States. Now the PE ratio, or price to earnings ratio, of real estate investment trusts doesn't apply. There's a different way to value them. Instead, you use the net asset value, which as far as I know is the market cap. In this case is $30 billion. The discounted cash flow, which in the case of Vici is about $26.9. So according to that metric, it's overvalued by about 3%. The dividend discount model, which in this case is indicating stable growth. And the relative value, which in the case of Vici indicates that it's undervalued by 53%. So as far as valuation goes, so far so good. They also have a dividend payout ratio of about 70%, and as far as I'm aware, real estate investment trusts by law have to give out 90% of their profits as a dividend to shareholders, which is why they pay so much. So if somebody could clarify for me how they're only paying out 70%, I would appreciate it a lot. Vici has a current revenue of about $2.6 billion, an earnings per share of $1.29, and a nice dividend yield of about 5.7%. So I'll leave this financial summary up here if you want to have a quick look at it. But now we get into the juicy part. Annual profit margin for Vici is 43%, which is very good. And over the last quarter is 61.5%. Very nice. The annual debt to assets ratio for Vici is 41%. That compares their total assets, which make money, to their total liabilities, which cost money. So the lower the debt to assets ratio, the better. And over the last quarter, it's increased slightly, but it's still not really concerning. 43.5% debt to assets ratio. And their annual cash flow from operating is about $1.94 billion. From investing is negative $9.3 billion. And from financing is $6.83 billion. And in a wave of red on the stock market at the moment, it is very nice to see this. Now, it does look like long term they are heading down a little bit. It's still no cause for concern as far as I can see. So Vici was founded in 2017, and this graph goes back to 2017, so it's the full history. Back then it was $18.50 a share, and it has recovered very nicely since the lockdown in 2020. The lowest it hit at that point was $12 a share, and the cheapest it's been in the last 52 weeks is $26.63 a share. So we're not too far off it. The most expensive it's been within the last year is $35 a share. So although it might continue to dip, I do think the future is bright. And it does also seem like they like to raise the dividend. So this is 1 year after they were founded. They paid 16 cents a share. Then in the same year bumped it up to 26 cents a share. And as time goes on, it's going up and up and up and up, which is always nice. And because it's a relatively new company, there's not a very long history, but so far so good. The next ex-dividend date, which is the deadline before which you have to have owned the stock if you want to receive the next dividend, is the 20th of December. So to wrap it up, short and sweet, Vici Properties, the ticker symbol is VICI. It costs $28 per share at the moment. It pays 4 dividends per year, the most recent one being for 41.5 cents per share. It has a dividend payout ratio, which is how much of its profits it pays out to shareholders, of about 70%. Its annual profit margin is 43%. Quarterly profit margin is 61.5%. Vici's annual debt to assets ratio is 41%, and their quarterly debt to assets ratio is 43.5%. Currently pays a dividend yield of 5.5%. So that's all for this one. And I'd imagine quite a lot of you will hold Vici Properties, or at least you'll be interested in it. And if you do, let me know how it's been going.